Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julie and I tend to make content mostly surrounding mental health, music, as well as makeup. For today, we are going to be specifically talking about music. This is a video I was inspired to film because of my favorite music critic, John from ARTV, as well as Infinity on Hannah, because they have both made awesome videos like this. Of course, my content almost always borders on mental health because part of the reason I love some of these bands is because they discuss their own mental health and mental health concerns in certain ways, and I absolutely am hyped for that. Starting with band number 5. If I'm looking down, I have notes on my phone because I wanted to be prepared and not just babble on, so don't mind me. My 5th favorite band is A Day to Remember. I love them because I feel like their albums are just consistently good for the most part. Homesick is absolutely nostalgic to me. A cute little story is that at my 18th birthday party, which was all the way back in 2009, I played The Downfall of Us All and we were all going nuts. And I will never forget that memory. It was so much fun. If It Means a Lot to You is also one of my favorite songs. It just always catches me in the feels and I love singing it with my friends or by myself in the shower. Common Courtesy is also a wonderful album across the board. I could listen to that over and over again. I feel the same way about Homesick, and I also feel the same way about What Separates Me From You. Although I didn't care for it much as a teenager because I was kind of salty about how people were hyped for that and kind of forgot about Homesick. At least it appeared that way to me, and Homesick will always be close to my heart and soul. Genre-wise, I love that A Day to Remember blends pop punk and metalcore so well, which are two of my favorite genres of music besides pop rock. Moving forward to band number 4. If you thought for any reason that this band wasn't going to be on my list, then you're not okay. Alright, that was embarrassing. So my 4th favorite band is obviously My Chemical Romance. How could they not be here? Every album is an absolute masterpiece and work of art, in my opinion. The Black Parade is one of my favorite albums of all time, and currently, from what I know, it's John from ARTV's current favorite album of all time. I love the song Cancer. I also go nuts when I'm G-noted. And you gotta sing Welcome to the Black Parade. If it comes up on shuffle and you skip it, you've committed a crime. And I feel that way probably about almost any My Chem song. There isn't a single My Chem song that I honestly don't like. They're all nostalgic. I feel the same way about I'm Not Okay. It just brings me back to when I was a teenager and I wasn't okay. And I was able to listen to that song and connect to other people who enjoyed the song and related to the music. Obviously, Helena is awesome and I love that music video. On to my 3rd favorite band, that would be All Time Low, which is another nostalgic band close to my heart. I've been listening to them for probably half of my existence since age 14. I love the teen angst that's present in the album Nothing Personal, which is definitely one of my favorite albums of all time. I love the song Therapy, even though nowadays I probably wouldn't agree to it since the lyrics kind of indicate that Therapy was never a friend to him. And you know what? Therapy's hard and it can bring up a lot of things, and I think because it's so triggering and a lot of work, that's why people give up on it. But I definitely can relate to that aspect and I've been there before, although I feel differently about therapy now, especially because I'm working my way to become a therapist. Don't Panic is such a good album. I love the stylistic changes. I love the content. The lyrics are great. I love Vic Fuente's feature on Love Like War. I think that was well done. Also, I have the deluxe version of the album and I had to purchase it from Newbury Comics in order to get a ticket to their meet and greet where they played an acoustic show back in 2013. And a fun little tidbit about that one was I was in line with one of my friends and she was super nervous and was like, oh, what am I gonna say? And I was like, they're just people. They're just like anyone else. And I was playing it cool. And then I got up there and I don't know what happened. I grabbed Alex Gaskarth's hands and looked him in the eyes and said, "You're beautiful." Then proceeded to look at the rest of the band and say, "You're all beautiful." And then I walked away, which is probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever done meeting any band, but I'll definitely never forget that moment. I wasn't a big fan of Last Young Renegade, which I feel like not a lot of people were, probably because it's a little more pop leaning. That doesn't always bother me with certain bands, but I liked that All Time Low. I wouldn't call them pop punk. I feel they were probably more pop rock, but again, it was just so pop leaning, and some of the songs I just found them to be weird and not fitting. But again, because of my deep rooted love for them, they will always be one of my favorite bands of all time. All Time Low. On to band number 2. If you thought for any reason this band wasn't going to be on my list, I don't know how you couldn't have figured that out. This is a band that every emo kid has to love, I would assume, and it's Panic at the Disco, which nowadays is basically just Brendan Urie and some touring band members. But I absolutely love Ryan Ross with all my heart. Ryan Ross seems like a wonderful human being, and I hope that everyone agrees with that. I never really got into his own music, but I absolutely loved A Fever You Can't Sweat Out and Pretty Odd. Pretty Odd is definitely one of my favorite albums of all time and my favorite album by Panic. A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is just a classic. It's so catchy. It brings me back to when I was a teenager and was freaking out when I discovered it. I remember that I discovered Panic on MySpace and they had the demos of some of the songs on that album up. It had to be 2005. So again, I've been listening to Panic for half of my life. I love Vices and Virtues, even though I guess you could call that album more pop leaning. I still thought it was a wonderful, incredible album. And I even like Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. At first, since that was so pop leaning, I was like, eh. But I love the song The End of All Things, and I got to see Panic live in 2014. And when Brendan sang that song, I cried my eyes out singing along, and it was just a spiritual experience, and I will never forget that wonderful memory, especially because I hadn't gone to a concert in so long because of my anxiety and stuff, and I pushed myself to go to that concert, and I am so glad I did, because going to a concert is just a wonderful experience, and I'm sure most music lovers would tend to agree with that. Obviously, Brendan Urie nowadays sometimes talks about his own mental health and anxiety and things like that. From what I know, he's also been open about his ADHD, and I miss Positive Hardcore Thursdays in his Vine. I found those to be so hilarious. I also love that he's pretty engaged with his fans and that he live streams. I think that's really cool as well. On to my favorite band in the whole entire world, which if you haven't watched it yet, you should go check out the video Why Water Parks is my favorite band, because I delve into many reasons why. I'm hoping to not be repetitive in this case. Obviously, the mental health mentions are right there. Austin Knight is very open about things that he's gone through, as well as messy breakups and aspects like that. I mentioned in my previous video, they're basically God's favorite boy band. They are the modern emo scene kid band. If they were around back in the day, that would have been so cool, and I would have fangirled over that. But I'm definitely fangirling now. I'm probably a little bit of a Parksy. My display name on my private Insta is Parks Emo, and I am proud to rep that, even though I'm sure people are like, that's not emo, that's not what emo is. It's not the genre. It's, according to Tumblr, emo core, and I can express myself however I want. All right, on to their music specifically. Double Dare is probably one of their heavier albums. It's not heavy by any means, but it's just such a masterpiece. It's such a well done album. I love the song Hawaii Stay Awake. I think it's such an energetic song to start an album with. Gloom Boys is obviously great. The music video for that is so funny and really awesome. I love the song Royal. I find that song to be really catchy. And 21 Questions is such a cool song. My dad even learned how to play that on guitar, and I've sang along with him before, although it's not really in my vocal range and I'm not the best at fixing that. But moving forward to entertainment, I talked about this in my previous video, that even though it's more pop leaning, it didn't bother me at all, and I actually heavily enjoyed the more pop leaning songs. My favorite song by Water Parks is We Need to Talk. And I also loved Crybaby and love singing along to Crybaby and get super excited whenever it comes on shuffle. I can listen to water parks on repeat and never get bored. I think I could listen to any of their albums over and over and over, and I would just feel happy and excited and fulfilled. I'm obsessed with fandom. I think any Parks fan is going to be obsessed with fandom. I thought it was really well done. Obviously, I've done makeup looks inspired by Cherry Red. This would be one of them. I mean, come on. Red eyeshadow stuff, red lips, red sweater, red hair. Although I've had red hair for like 7 years, but I love that there was this trend going around in the water parks Facebook group I'm in where people are posting selfies and saying, what water park songs do I remind you of? And when I got Cherry Red, I was like, heck yeah. And then I got Easy to Hate, which I was so excited about because it's definitely one of my favorite songs as well, and it does resonate with me, and it's just such a catchy song. I know not everyone loves Turbulent and they find it pretty cringy, but I love Tantrum from Entertainment and Turbulent. I love the songs where Water Park gets a little heavier and angsty because it brings me back to All Time Low, which they toured with them. I can see the connection and inspiration. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends. I would absolutely love that if they enjoy music and emo things. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have more subscribers. That would be awesome. And I would love for you to leave a comment as long as it comes from a kind place. For today's prompt for your comment, I would love for you, if you get to this point in the video, to tell me your top 5 favorite bands. And if you'd like to delve into why, that would be great. Or if you just want to list them, that's cool too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye guys. Mama likes me and she doesn't like anyone. Your dumb drunk friends don't care for me and always told you so. Wish you didn't tell me I was special, 'cause now it's far too hard to see through. 'Cause you shine brighter than morning, at least I thought you did. Oh, I didn't see you there. If you could get me a drink of water, 'cause my lips are chapped and faded, call my Aunt Marie. Huh? Huh? What? And hey, darling, I hope you're good tonight. When the moon fell in love with the sun, always golden in the sky, always golden when the day met the night. How embarrassing. We're all part of the same sick little games, and I need to get away, get away. Am I a theater kid? Am I okay? What's happening right now?